That's not Beyonce's hair. It's not even Beyonce's hair color for the listening audience. It's blonde platinum. It's obviously a wig. She does not have blonde platinum hair. It's mostly straightened. The breasts are enormous. The shape is extra curvy. She's got extreme makeup on, the big sort of glossed lips with the extra long fingernails. And it's not even trying to be natural beauty. And which Beyonce is, in my view, a completely artificial creation. It's right on brand for her. She was made by Jay-Z.
Just when everyone thought the whole Beyonce skin bleaching talk had died down, it's back in the spotlight again, louder than ever. People are accusing the brown skin girl singer of doing the most to look like a white woman, and the internet is eating it up. Beyonce was simply vibing, posting some fun pictures in her Levi's after wrapping up her Cowboy Carter tour. And boom, here come the critics. Out of nowhere, conservatives started dragging her, saying she's allegedly appropriating white culture and even lightening her skin so much that she's now racially ambiguous. The drama is crazy. Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's father, had to jump in and speak on it because things were spiraling out of control fast.
And that's a fact. Beyonce, Alicia Keys, Mariah Carey, J-Lo, all of those are extremely talented. It would be just ludicrous to think that Beyonce's talent doesn't take her above heights and levels. But it's also true, absolutely, that colorism and shade of color is a fact. I mean, you can't deny it. You can't argue.
The firestorm kicked off just days after Beyonce shared those glam shots with her honey blonde hair for the Levi's campaign. Suddenly, white Republicans accused her of copying Marilyn Monroe and chasing after a white woman aesthetic. Like, what is even happening? What makes it wild is that Beyonce has been rocking this blonde look for years. It's nothing new. But folks started connecting dots after remembering that Sydney Sweeney did a denim campaign for American Eagle not too long ago. Her ad was hyped up for showing off her classic Eurocentric beauty, and some critics said the whole thing carried racial undertones. Basically, the message was that Sweeney's look was the standard. So, when Beyonce dropped her Levi's shots styled with Marilyn Monroe-inspired glam, Sweeney's supporters flipped out. They came running, saying Beyonce was biting Sweeney's vibe and trying to pass for something she's not. And now, this random online debate has turned into a full-blown controversy about race, beauty, and cultural ownership, all over a denim campaign.
If you want to learn a lot about a person, ask them how they feel about Beyonce. Because people's opinion on Beyonce will tell you everything that you need to know about them. People who don't like her cannot be trusted. Stay away from them.
When it comes to Beyonce, critics just won't let up. They're claiming no one is addressing the so-called whitewashing and her trying to look like a white woman. But let's be real. This chatter about Queen Bey losing melanin year after year isn't new at all. Back in November 2023, at the premiere of her Renaissance tour film, fans swore up and down that her skin tone looked shockingly different from before. Yes, Beyoncé stunned in her platinum blonde hair and shimmering silver outfit, but some people said she looked almost unrecognizable, like a white woman with black features. The internet went wild with side-by-side comparisons. Still, plenty of fans came to her defense, saying the accusations were a stretch. They pointed out the obvious: the hair, the silver dress, the metallic background, the makeup, plus editing. Of course, she was gonna look lighter. That's just straight-up color theory at work. And let's not forget, Beyoncé has always been on the lighter side of black skin tones. She even admitted that her skin and hair have taken hits over the years from spray tans and dyes. Her longtime makeup artist also revealed that body makeup is now a major part of her beauty routine, often used in place of tanning. But Mama Tina was not having it. She clapped back hard, saying, Beyoncé made a whole film called Renaissance where the entire theme was silver. Silver carpet, silver hair, silver attire, and yet people had the nerve to accuse her of bleaching. Tina fired off, calling critics sad and saying she's sick and tired of folks dragging her daughter every single time she steps out. Mama Tina tried to shut it down, saying Beyoncé's look is a reflection of her insane work ethic, raw talent, and unstoppable resilience. But the haters just keep crawling out of the woodwork. She blasted them as jealous, racist, sexist, and full of double standards, yet the chatter refuses to die. Even after her defense, people are still buzzing about whether Beyoncé is doing something to her skin, especially after her 2025 Grammys appearance, where she showed up looking noticeably lighter compared to her Destiny's Child days and the early solo era. The comparisons won't stop. And now, Matthew Knowles is stepping into the fire too, because this debate has gone way out of hand. He's spoken before about the ugly reality of the music business. How early in his career, he noticed the huge gap in how white and black artists were treated when it came to budgets, radio play, and exposure. According to him, light-skinned artists were often given wider opportunities because of the bias baked into Hollywood and the industry. In fact, Matthew even admitted that part of Beyoncé's rise was tied not only to her undeniable talent, but also to the privilege of being light-skinned in a colorist world. But he stressed that Beyoncé has long since proven she can stand on her own, no matter what Hollywood politics say. He pointed out how she's even breaking barriers in country music, a space where people said she didn't belong. And yet, she still took it over. Still, critics aren't letting up. They claim Beyoncé switches her entire aesthetic depending on the market she's chasing, making her image feel like a calculated move instead of just authentic self-expression. The controversy around her shifting look has now become a debate about identity, success, and survival in the spotlight. But Matthew Knowles isn't holding back anymore. He's making it crystal clear that this endless obsession with Beyoncé's skin tone says way more about society's biases than it does about his daughter. He pointed out that the entertainment industry has always thrived on double standards. People cheer when a white woman rocks blonde hair and fair skin, but the second Beyoncé does it, suddenly it's skin bleaching and appropriation. The hypocrisy is loud. He even reminded folks that Beyoncé's versatility has always been her power. One moment she's embodying Afrocentric glam, the next she's stepping into country music, and then she's pulling off high-fashion looks that dominate the global stage. That's not identity confusion. That's global influence. Yet critics keep twisting it into some cheap storyline about her trying to pass as something else. And Matthew didn't stop there. He called out the racism baked into these conversations. He said flat out, Beyoncé doesn't owe anyone an explanation for how she wears her hair, how her makeup is styled, or how her skin looks under certain lights. What she represents is way bigger than the petty whispers. She's proof that a black woman can dominate spaces where she was once told she'd never belong. But here's the kicker. People are still convinced that Beyoncé's image changes depending on who she's trying to impress. They claim when she's after mainstream pop, she goes lighter. When she's leaning into R&B or African-inspired projects, she embraces a deeper glow. These critics are now painting her as a master manipulator of identity, saying every shift is a calculated branding move, not just artistry. So the real question buzzing online right now, is Beyoncé simply evolving like any other artist? Or is she tailoring her image to play the industry game better than anyone else ever has? What makes all of this even wilder is Beyoncé's silence. She's never once come out and directly addressed the bleaching rumors, and that's only adding more fuel to the fire. Every time she steps out looking flawless, the internet goes into overdrive dissecting her skin tone, her makeup, her lighting. Literally every pixel of her image gets turned into an argument. And the fact that she never claps back only makes people think she's hiding something. Fans are split down the middle. Some say her silence is queen behavior, the ultimate power move. They argue Beyoncé doesn't need to explain herself to anyone because her art speaks louder than gossip. But others see it as her dodging accountability, saying if she really had nothing to hide, she would have shut these rumors down years ago. The mystery is what keeps this drama alive. And let's be real, Beyoncé has built her entire career on controlling her image. From the Destiny's Child days to now, she's been a perfectionist about every detail we see. So when her look changes even slightly, people assume it's a carefully calculated strategy. Whether it's platinum blonde hair styled like Marilyn Monroe or glowing bronzed skin in her Afrocentric visuals, everything feels intentional and the public is quick to assign meaning. Meanwhile, insiders say Beyoncé doesn't care what the critics think because she knows controversy keeps her name trending. And with her still pushing boundaries in spaces like country music, some believe she's using the chatter as free promo, letting the haters do the marketing for her. While Beyoncé herself stays silent, the war online between fans and haters is getting nastier by the day. The Beyhive is out here going to battle on every platform, dragging anyone who dares to say she's bleaching her skin. They argue Beyoncé has been a lighter-toned black woman her whole life, and these accusations are nothing but racist gaslighting. But the critics, they're just as loud, flooding comment sections with side-by-side comparisons and throwing around claims that she's shifting her identity to stay marketable. The divide is brutal, and it doesn't stop with the fans. The industry is eating this up too. Think about it. Every headline, every viral tweet, every trending TikTok about Beyoncé's skin tone is free publicity. Hollywood has always thrived on scandal, and keeping this debate alive means she stays on top of the conversation. Some insiders even claim the media purposely pushes these narratives because controversy sells more than celebration. The more people argue, the more clicks, streams, and dollars flow in. Still, there's something deeper here. This isn't just about Beyoncé. It's about how black women in entertainment are constantly policed for their looks in a way white women never are. Critics say this obsession with her skin tone shows how much bias is still embedded in the industry. Instead of focusing on her music, her tours, and her cultural impact, people keep reducing her legacy to whether she looks too light or not black enough. It's a toxic double standard. Back when Beyoncé was serving urban vibes and rocking braids, nobody was arguing about her skin tone. No debates, no chaos. But now that she's stepping full force into her Cowboy Carter era, suddenly folks are screaming that she's leaning into a white aesthetic. Still, a huge number of people are standing firm for Bey, saying she's done nothing wrong. It's just another case of people digging for reasons to tear her down. The whole thing feels pointless. Why waste time explaining that Beyoncé's ads aren't cultural appropriation or that Marilyn Monroe wasn't some sacred white-only icon? The truth is, these critics don't actually care about the facts. They just love outrage. Beyoncé's been running with Levi's for over a year now, and no one said a word until the American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney stirred up race talk. That's when conservatives jumped on the bandwagon, twisting the narrative and pretending to be offended. And let's keep it real. Beyoncé looked phenomenal in that ad. If anything, the only thing missing was her rocking an afro to highlight that black beauty has always been the standard too. Instead of reinforcing our own culture boldly, we get stuck arguing about blonde hair, when in reality, blonde is found in multiple ethnic groups across the world. That's not appropriation, that's just hair color. The real problem is that some people desperately want to feel exploited, so they invent reasons to stay mad. They miss the bigger picture. Beyoncé is rewriting rules, crossing boundaries, and shaking entire industries whether they like it or not. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Beyoncé is just being her versatile self? Or is this a strategic play to silence her critics? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, share this with your friends, and I'll catch you in the next one.